Please draw this diagram. This is the figure of single phase transformer. This single phase transformer. Transformer can be two types. It can be single phase transformer or it can be three phase transformer. Normally for high power application, industry prefer three phase transformer, but for the domestic purpose and society purpose, for the distribution purpose, normally industry prefers single phase transformer. Right? So this is a basic concept of the single phase transformer, which is the primary winding, secondary winding. The primary winding should connect to the supply. Here, transformer is a static device which is capable to transform energy from one side to another, and that is in AC. It is working, it can work for the AC supply only. So that is why the primary side should be connected to the supply voltage and the secondary one connected to the load. Right? Now see what happened. This is actually the core part of the transformer. This is a rectangular shaped core part. Normally it can be constructed by the good quality iron or ferromagnetic element. Okay? And the primary windings, they are actually normally constructed by the copper conductor. Somehow, for the application purpose, it can be other thing also, like aluminium and other good, which is having the good conductivity. So this is the basic structure of the transformer. Right? See, suppose assume the number of turns in the primary winding, that is N1, and number of turns in the secondary winding, that is N2. And this is the core part, which is I have discussed before. The input side, supply voltage V1, that is connected to the supply voltage, is a sinusoidal wave, and that is V2. Now see what happened. Why the transformer is so called machine? We all know machine means which can convert some energy one form to another form. We had a discussion over DC machine, right? A DC generator, DC motor. DC motor means the electricity or electrical energy that should be converted to mechanical energy. In case of DC generator, we are applying some mechanical torque. That means the mechanical energy is converted to the electrical energy. So this is a normal use for the machine for industry purpose. But here, the transformer itself a device which can convert no energy from one form to another. Rather, which can convert electrical energy from one side to another without help of conductor. আমাদের কোনো conductor লাগছেই না. Primary side আমি electrical energy দিচ্ছি, that can be is transmitted to the secondary side, which can transform energy. That is why the name stands for transformer. Transform energy, same energy, electrical form from one side to another. But so why it is used for industry? We can achieve our required amount of output voltage, because we all know somehow the transformer can be applicable to step up or to step up voltage. So that means we can get the required amount of voltage from the output side of the transformer. Number one. Number two, that is, it helps to isolate circuit from high power application. Suppose grid is there, which is having infinity number of current or voltage. Just be assured. We are using some circuit or converter circuit that is directly interfaced to the grid. That means what? The converter circuit which can convert some electrical energy and deliver some energy to the grid. Equally, we have the high amount of the current and the voltage. That means the current direction can be both sides. Means converter to grid or somehow grid to converter side. So when the energy transmits from grid side to converter circuit, that means the converter may be damaged permanently, because it is having normally the good quality switch gear and the other elegant devices that can be hampered permanently. So we should isolate the circuit from grid connection. That is why the transformer will take the major role. It can completely isolate the circuit from the converter and grid. That means transformer can be activated for the three purposes. Transformer can transform energy from one side to another without help of conductor. Number two, each can enhance or decreases the amount of voltage to the output side. Number 3, it helps to isolate the circuit. That is why somehow transformer is used for the isolation. So this is the 3 major use for industry and society. This is all about for the application of transformers. Okay? And this is a basic structure. Now see the working principle. This is very important to understand. Working principle. As I told you before, maximum number of the machines involved for the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Same thing can happen for in this case also. One more thing I should remember you, that is, it is not having any moving device. It is a completely static device. That is why the machines which are having a moving device, they must have some additional losses that is incorporated for the moving element. Suppose ball bearing, frictional, windage loss, everything was there for the DC machine. So that means for this kind of machine or transformer, as there is a no moving element, that is why no loss for the moving are considered. Moving part is considered. That is why the transformer efficiency is high with respect to the rotating device of DC machine or induction motor. Right? So this is the normally used for transformer. Now see what happened. So according to the Faraday's laws of induction, we all know when the flux start cutting the amount of, when the current start cutting the few amount of flux, or the flux will be cutted the few amount of conductor, then an EMF is induced on that particular conductor. This is well defined by the Faraday's law. And we all know, according to the Lenz's law, the EMF, induced EMF, is always opposite of supply voltage. So that is why this is well termed by air EMF. That is why, first thing, we are applied a sinusoidal wave like a AC supply to the primary side. So it is having this kind of waveform, because we all know is an alternation behavior. AC supply is there, is a positive alternation and negative alternation, both are there. Right? So that means when we apply the supply voltage to the primary side, then the current starts flowing. As the supply voltage is alternating in nature, that means it produces alternating current. Right? So this alternating current starts flowing through the primary winding. This is the primary winding side. So what does it mean? Suppose for the positive half cycle, the direction of the current will be this one. This is positive and this is negative. Then the movement of the current will be in this way, in the clockwise direction. For the negative half cycle when starts, that means it will be positive, it will be negative. Then obviously current starts flowing in this direction, means anti-clockwise direction. That means all the cases for the positive half cycle and negative half cycle, the current is continuously change its direction. That means what? That means there is a question for if we produce some amount of flux, because the concept of winding. So that is why d phi dt, according to the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, it produces some amount of EMF, that is called back EMF, because it is opposite of supply voltage. So this is all about for the production of the EMF in the primary side. Now what happened? Once the EMF is produced, so automatically it will create a magnetic field, and this is also alternating in nature. That means it will create further the flux. This flux is moving in the core. Core mode flux and the move করছে, and this is also the alternating quantity. এই ফ্লাক্সটাও কিন্তু মুভ করছে alternating wave. That means what? This flux is already passing to the secondary part also. That means this flux somehow is passing to this direction and this direction, and the conductor is fixed for the secondary conductors. That means what happened? Then again, the rate of change of flux, that is a concept of again EMF, and that is induced to the secondary side, will be named that is E2, or this is the secondary induced EMF. This is primary induced EMF. We can further say what that is happened selfly. শুধু সাপ্লাই ভোল্টেজ দিয়েছি, নিজে নিজে ইএমএফ তৈরি হয়েছে প্রাইমারি সাইডে, তাই এটাকে বলা হয় সেলফ ইনডিউসড ইএমএফ। এটা কি হচ্ছে? ইটস আ মিউচুয়াল এফেক্ট। যেহেতু এই ইএমএফটা ক্রিয়েট হয়েছে বলে, ফ্লাক্সটা মুভ করছে বলে, তার জন্য সেকেন্ডারিতে আরেকটা ইএমএফ ক্রিয়েট হয়েছে, তাই এটাকে বলা হয় মিউচুয়াল ইনডিউসড ইএমএফ। দুটো নাম আমি শিখলাম। The EMF which is produced by the help of the primary side, that is called self-induced EMF, and the EMF which is produced for the secondary winding, it is called. Okay, so which both will satisfy the Faraday's law, that is well defined the production of EMF, that is minus N1 d phi dt and minus N2 d phi dt. Now here one thing should recall, that is N1 is a number of turns for the primary and N2 for the secondary. That means two number of turns will not be same. If the number of turns in the secondary side is higher with respect to the primary one, then it produces more voltage to the secondary part. Then we can say this is step up transformer. If you assume the number of turns in the secondary part is less with respect to the primary one, it will produce less amount of output voltage with respect to the primary side. Same, we can say the transformer is working the step down transformer. Right? Now see, two questions is very important to understand. Suppose number one, if the core is constructed by the wooden, যদি কাঠের তৈরি কোর করা হয় তাহলে কি হবে? Number one. Second question, suppose we are applying DC to the primary side apart from AC. আমি AC না দিয়ে DC apply করে the transformer কি ধরনের VF করব? Okay. এই দুটো question, most of the cases for the core company interview, they are asking in the interview panel, if the transformer is constructed by the wooden or you are applying the DC supply to the primary side, so what will happen? What will means act by the transformer? কি করে কাজ করে আপনি জানেন? See, flux move করার জন্য we need a media, right? So once the E1 has generated, then the flux establishes. This flux is a moving nature and it is also alternating flux. That is why core was there to carry the flux. কোরটা এখানে ছিল কি ফ্লাক্সকে ক্যারি করার জন্য, একটা মিডিয়ার মতন কাজ করছে। যদি এটাকে মেটালিক না করে যদি আমি কাঠের তৈরি করি তাহলে কি হবে? No flux, no alternating flux starts moving toward the wooden constructed is core. That is why the transformer stops working immediately if the core is constructed by wooden. Right? Here, second. What I told, the input side we have applied what? AC. AC supply. Suppose DC supply, during DC কি হবে ওখানে? See, what is the concept of AC actually? It has a periodic signal. It's a positive half cycle and negative half cycle is there. That is why the direction of the current is always changed with respect to time. That is why the concept was d phi dt. But we all know, in case of DC supply, there is no question for alternation. It will give you the fixed amount or fixed magnitude. That means সেখানে কোন রকম কারেন্ট ডিরেকশন চেঞ্জ হচ্ছে না। তার মানে ইন্ডাক্টর is a so-called inductor, is a coil, so-called inductor. That means the purely inductive coil is not applicable in DC. কেন? ইন্ডাক্টর কিভাবে তৈরি করা হয়? জাস্ট আমি খুব অল্প বুঝি সহজে বলার চেষ্টা করছি। This is conductor is able to carry current. No question for EMF. This conductor, suppose you are giving some spiral, means figure. So what means? That means you are giving some this kind of things, but it is also constructed by the copper. Then what happens? Then it produces back EMF. What my point? তার মানে একটা কন্ডাক্টর যখন কাজ করছে কন্ডাক্টরের মতন, it is easily bypass the current bypass করতে no question for the back EMF. যখনই কন্ডাক্টরটাকে আমরা শেপ দিচ্ছি একটা স্পাইরাল বা ওয়াইন্ডিং শেপ, তখন দেখা যাচ্ছে একই কন্ডাক্টরের মধ্যে কাজ করছে, ওর মধ্যে কি হচ্ছে? এটা ব্যাক EMF তৈরি হচ্ছে। কেন বলতো? যেহেতু it is connected to a AC supply, that is why the current direction is always changed across the winding. That is why the rate of change of flux, rate of change of current, it produces back EMF. But this is not happening in case of simple conductor. Now ask yourself, if the supply voltage is replaced by DC source, what happens? কখন ডিরেকশন কারেন্ট চেঞ্জ হয়? যখন AC সাপ্লাই দিচ্ছি। Then the question for production of back EMF, right? The DC supply দি It is working as a simple conductor. Simple conductor. Flat. Magnitude same. No alternation. No positive half cycle. No negative half cycle. That this continuous current will start flowing across the winding. Simple, the winding is working as a conductor. Simple conductor. As we time for it, if the primary side winding is X as a simple conductor, then what happened? That means total current will be short circuited. What my point? Entire current starts flowing, suppose I1 this direction, again coming back to this one is I1. No back EMF will be there, no alternating flux will be there. That means simple, if we can add DC supply to the primary winding, the winding is X, just like a conductor. That means this is completely short circuit path will be created. That means huge or induced current starts flowing to the primary winding, which is quite capable to destroy the winding permanently. Captain heat produce the short circuit current প্রচুর বেশি হয়। এবার ফিউজ পর্যন্ত নষ্ট হয়ে যাচ্ছে কেন? শর্ট সার্কিট কারেন্ট ফ্লো করার জন্য। আর তাই তো ঘটছে এখানে। দ্যাট মিন্স এই ডিসি সাপ্লাই আমি দিই এন্টার প্রাইমারি সাইডটা ডিস্ট্রয় হয়ে যাচ্ছে ডিউ টু হাই অ্যামাউন্ট অফ short circuit current flow. The primary winding should be damaged permanently. That means the transformer cannot be constructed by wooden because it will stop working immediately. At the same time, we cannot apply the DC supply to the primary winding as the primary side will be damaged permanently. So this is all about for the small introduction of transformer.